Welcome to Quantum Finance. My name is Parker. I'm the head trader here, but I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. So in today's video, we'll take a look at the economic data, we'll go over some news, then we'll do our market recap and market analysis. So starting here on the economic data, we did have initial jobless claims come in at 242,000 with 240K expected. Looking at the calendar, tomorrow, Friday, May 5th, we do get non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate. Turning to some news, we also had the continuation of the banking crisis happened today, as you can see this morning, with a lot of these major regional banks having huge declines here in their stock price. And this is the magnitude of the 2008 bank failures versus the size of the 2023 bank failures. As you can see, just the significance in the scale of these bank failures. And here we have the 1-year premium to insure U.S. government debt against default has risen to 152 basis points, which is a record high. And this is the U.S. bond market has now been in a drawdown for 33 months, which is by far the longest in history. And here we have the global central bank update. We have the ECB having a 25 basis point hike, Norway with a 25 basis point hike, Hong Kong 25 basis points, and Saudi Arabia with a 25 basis point hike. And we also have the market saying the Fed just raised rates for the last time in this rate hiking cycle, and the next move will be a cut and could come as soon as September. And this is the gold reserves by metric tons here. As you can see, the top three with the United States, Germany, and Italy. And we also have some breaking news that the SEC has been ordered by a court to respond to Coinbase's complaint over how it applies securities laws to digital assets, and they have to reply within 10 days. And we also have Russia saying the U.S. is responsible for the drone attack that happened yesterday. And we have Turkey's president saying that the country has discovered an oil field in the country that could produce up to 100,000 barrels per day. And this is the beer purchases, as you can see, ever since the Bud Light had that failed marketing campaign. As you can see, just the drastic decline here in Bud Light beer sales. So now we can do our market recap. Starting here in the debt market, we have the U.S. 10-year yield getting a green day here after coming down and touching that lower extreme, sitting down here at the lower end of this daily range. Turning to the dollar, we do have a green day here in the dollar, also bouncing off that lower extreme. Still sitting down here at the lower end of this weekly and daily range. Turning to the stock market, we do have another big red day here in the stock market, getting continuation on the downside. As you can see, getting a gap down here and then pushing into that lower extreme and wicking to the upside, which also basically finding support here at last week's lows, pulling down into that midline here on the weekly chart. Turning to cryptocurrencies, we have Bitcoin getting a red day here, just pulling back into that midline, still just just consolidating here in the middle of this daily range. Looking at gold, we do have a all-time high hit today on gold, so congrats to everybody that owns gold. As you can see, getting a large wick up here. It looks like it hit a high of $2,081.82 here on TradingView, as you can see, but getting a large wick after hitting that all-time high. So looking at silver, as you can see, silver getting a large green day here as well, squeezing to the upside after bouncing off that lower extreme and holding that midline here. As you can see, approaching these highs here from the beginning of April, the middle of April. As you can see, this upper extreme here on the monthly chart is pushing here, expanding to the upside. So now we can do our market recap. We'll start with our volume analysis here on the S&P 500. As you can see, another red day here into this lower extreme. Majority selling today, but there was a slight chunk of volume, but it was a high volume day here, getting above that volume average. So now we can look at our 3-minute chart, see what kind of action we got. As you can see here, this was yesterday after we got that volatility spike here after the Fed rate decision. So we did get a gap down here this morning. As you can see, getting a push down here off the open and then basically just chopping sideways between these extremes and VWAP throughout most of the day. Now we can zoom out a little bit here. As you can see on the 15-minute, As you can see here on the 15-minute, we do have a squeeze here on the 15-minute. And you can kind of see this kind of channel that's forming here, kind of draw some trend lines. So we do have a squeeze here on the 15-minute inside of this kind of upward or ascending channel here. And if you look over here on the 2 hour, as you can see, pulling down into last week's lows right here. We can kind of draw some lines here off these levels as well. Kind of draw our downtrend line. As you can see, kind of a descending triangle forming here on the S&P 500 2-hour chart. Not the cleanest pattern yet, but you know, it's kind of what I'm starting to identify here. These kind of trend lines we got going, but definitely keep an eye on this. See if we can hold this low here, or if we, you know, squeeze to the downside and start, you know, making our way back down. So now we can look at the VIX and the NASDAQ here. So as you can see, the VIX getting a big green day here, breaking out of this previous resistance that we've had, and getting a nice move to the upside here. If you see here on the NASDAQ as well, we where do we open? We opened up here. As you can see right there, we opened up and broke down through yesterday's lows, pulling into this kind of previous low here and these previous wick highs. So now we can talk about some trades. So we go to the 3-minute here. So there was actually some decent trades today. As you can see, there was one right here about 10 o'clock. As you see, we got the initial push down off the open, pulled back into VWAP, found it as resistance. So this was a nice opportunity to short back down to these previous lows back here from last week. As you can see, I'll just plot a line here. Would have been a nice opportunity to get short into this VWAP projection and, you know, for a move down to these lows. And there's also another move here. Let me show you the 15-minute. As you can see, getting a MACD cross to the upside here at about 12:30, which was right here during this consolidation. As you can see, breaking this kind of downtrend here with a nice move up. With that MACD cross to the upside on the 15-minute, getting back above VWAP. So this could have been a decent opportunity for call options, you know, just for a move back to retest these highs. Yeah, that's basically the only real decent trading opportunities today. I really liked this short here in the morning. Really nice clean setup here off this VWAP rejection down to these lows from last week. So yeah, another red day today, 3 red days in a row. We have had a lot of volume recently, and we are squeezed here on the daily and 15-minute chart. So it will be interesting to see if we get a large gap to the upside or downside tomorrow morning. But yeah, that'll do it for the video. Appreciate y'all watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.